Hello guys, MonkeyBot here, back for another Evolve Stage 2 tutorial. Today we'll be talking about Battle Cabot, but first of all I just want to update you on what's going to be happening with my channel. As most of you know, Pete has sadly decided to leave Evolve, which is his decision. I'm not going to judge him for it. I know there's been a lot of dramas, I'm not going to discuss it, but people have been asking who's going to be doing the Trapper tutorials, so I will be getting around to them at some point. I'm also going to be doing the assault tutorials to take a bit of weight off Grizzle's shoulders, as a lot of people have been asking him to do tutorials which he doesn't have time for, and as I can do some quick simple tutorials, I'm going to be taking them. So once I've done Battle Cabot, I'm then going to move on to the Assault and the Trapper tutorials, as well as finish off my How to Survive tutorials. I'm sort of slowing down on the How to Survive tutorials now because I'm waiting for massive updates to be changed, because Wraith, if you don't know, Wraith is going to get a massive change on Tuesday, or the next update, whenever the next update will be, and I heard that Gorgon's going to be getting a rework at some point. And I'll be redoing Kraken, because Kraken's getting a rework. So I want to wait until these monsters have been reworked before I do the tutorials, because otherwise I'll do them and then a week later I'll have to redo them again. So I'm just going to hold back on them for the moment. So anyway, back to this video. This video I'll be finally giving a tutorial on Battle Cabot. So let's start off. So Battle Cabot has his photon cannon, the solar blast, orbital concealment, and the projected shield burst. So I'll just talk about the abilities. I'll just get this up. So the photon cannon is a fully automatic railgun. Basically, it does 40 damage per shot, and it has 6 shots in a clip. So it does, 240 damage per clip, which is quite a lot of damage for a support. Battle Cabot is definitely a high damage support and a how do I describe this, sort of a way to trick the monster rather than stopping the damage happening completely. So it's more of a mitigation, that's the one, mitigation support. Kind of a bit like Sunny, but not as reliable, I would say, more skillful than Sunny. So yeah, the photon cannon does the damage. Then there's the solar blast, which has a very quick cooldown of 10 seconds, which does 300 damage? 300 damage per solar blast, and it has quite a big knockback, which is, you want to be using that knockback to help you. So you use this to dodge ability, so you want to use this as often as possible. And then you've got the orbital concealment, which is a cloaking field, which lasts for 6 seconds, which will remove all of the name tags from everyone in that radius, and anyone who isn't shooting will become invisible. Just ignore my phone there, that's going off. So it will cloak everyone who's in the field for 6 seconds, and even if you are shooting, your name tags will still be hidden. And then there's the projected shield burst, which is basically a shield burst that you shoot at people. So we'll get on to the perks. In the first tier, the only perk I ever really seem to be taking at the moment is Quick Switch, or Item Swap Speed Gunslinger, because you will be swapping your weapons quite a bit, particularly between the photon cannon and the solar blast. So I don't really take anything else. I don't feel like you're going to be as focused as heavily compared to someone like Hank or Sunny, because his survivability will be exactly the same as anyone else's survivability. So you don't really need any of these perks, because they're more likely to be focusing the medic more than anyone else. So I'll normally take Gunslinger first of all. Then there's two sort of sets of perks that I have been taking, which I find to be the best at the moment. Obviously you could take the jetpack perks, which I normally do take with most supports, but for Battle Cabot I prefer either double reload or double class cooldown. The cooldown for the shield burst is quite quick anyway, but double class cooldown will benefit that even more. And then double reload, you will get a lot more damage a lot more quickly. It will bring the solar blast from 10 seconds down to, I think it's 6 or 7 seconds, and it really does help with your rotation of damage. It's a lot more simpler rotation if you take double reload, and obviously it brings back your cloak a lot faster, which can be a lifesaver if it works, although I have known it to be quite buggy recently, but I'm sure it will be fixed in later patches. But your cloak can be a lifesaver when used at the correct time. So for this one I'll be taking double reload. So hunters to go with Battle Cabot would be basically anyone, really. Anyone works well with Battle Cabot. There's not, like, obviously Slim, who's quite powerful, works really well. The only one who I kind of question is maybe Val or Rogue Val, simply because when the cloak is on, if support is being focused and you are cloaked, Val can't really heal you very well. When someone like Kyra the monster still knows where the hunter is through the grenade, but they don't know the exact pinpoint of the hunter when, obviously, if Val's healing, the med gun goes directly onto the hunter who's cloaked. So that's the only reason I sort of doubt Val a little bit with Battle Cabot. They're not bad, you can still take them. So yeah, any support really works well. You kind of want a support with good healing though, so Emma is good with the cloak, but you probably could use someone with a bit stronger healing like Kyra. Kyra is very good. Lazarus is very good. You can use both cloaks to rotate each other, so you'd always use the personal cloak, then go into the orbital concealment, and then back into the personal cloak again, and you'll rotate them like that. So, but if you go a Laz comp, you're definitely going to have to take reload to get that orbital concealment back as fast as possible. So he's very good with Laz. But Quantum Kyra, yep. Paladin Parnell, similar to Kyra. Rogue Val is very good because you can get the passive. Although there is a slight, when you are cloaked, you can see a very slight healing effect around the hunter. It's so small, the effect, that in the heat of the battle, the monster is still going to lose you, and it's not noticeable enough. And obviously, when Rogue Val does use a healing field, you can then use the cloak, which will give Rogue Val a few more seconds for her healing field to come back, so she doesn't die, basically. So any medic can go really well. For this one, I'll take... who should I take? I'll just take Rogue Val. So, Trapper and Assault doesn't really make a difference. Griffin or Jack can keep it in place for the Solar Blast, but it's happening so often anyway, the coordination for that is insane. So it's going to be very difficult to actually land them right. Assaults, any assault really, maybe not Lennox or Blitz Markov is okay. The only reason I don't say Lennox is because you will be thrown about a lot with the Solar Blast. So, and obviously Lennox requires a lot of jetpack and really efficient jetpack management to keep those multipliers on the Plasma Lance. So that is the only support only assault even, that I don't recommend taking. Kind of similar with Blitz Markov, but not as extreme. It's more just Lennox, really. The other supports are fine. Yeah, all of them are good, really. Just Lennox requires very good jetpack management, and Blitz Markov the same, just not as extreme. Monsters, the only two monsters I would not choose Battle Cabot for would be Meteor Goliath or Gorgon, because of the dot damage. The fire reveals the cloak, and so does the acid spear, and the web snare, and the mimic. All three of them, and obviously the spider trap as well, I suppose, if you get hit here. Although when you are cloaked, the spider trap will not follow you. But yeah, web snare, acid spear, and mimic, all the dot effects you can see on a cloaked hunter. So just Gorgon, Meteor Goliath. Obviously you will be spotted with OG Goliath's fire breath, but that's not as bad really as Meteor Goliath, because obviously the fire breath of Meteor Goliath is huge and everyone is always on fire. So for this one I'll just stick with Goliath. So let's get into it. So I've already discussed about the photon cannon. Does 40 damage, 6 shots per clip, does 240 damage. The solar blast, 300 damage with a 10-second reload. Orbital concealment, I think, is a minute. I haven't actually tested the reload on orbital concealment, and I'm pretty sure it's probably around a minute. It's quite a long reload. And the shield burst. So first of all, you want to be using the shield burst as much as possible. It's got an extremely fast cooldown, but it's not very strong. It's probably the weakest shield burst actually out of all of the supports, which I'm really surprised about, considering how much skill it requires to actually land them when far away. Oh, a little bit of lag there. So, first of all, when you fight... Oh, that was almost bad. You want to use the solar blast as soon as you get into the dome. So as soon as the monster fights, use that. And then you want to be using two clips of your photon cannon, swap over to your solar blast, try and stay in here, swap back over to your photon cannon, 2 clips again. Oh, I'm going to die already. I'm just going to cloak. So there's my cloak. So I'll just try and make that a bit clear without the heat. So you want to use... Oh, I'm going to die. So you want to use the solar blast. Use the solar blast. 2 clips of the photon cannon. So there's 1. There's 2. Swap over, and it's just been recharged. So that is... Whoa, that is buggy. So yeah, that is the most effective way to be using him for damage-wise. Like I said, use the shield burst as much as possible. Ideally, if you're being focused, obviously you want to be medicating like most supports will be. If someone else is being focused... I'm just going to cloak again. Oh, this guy's got grounder. Shit. But if you're not being focused, if someone like the medic or trapper, or if anyone's being focused really, you want to try and get quite high up. So if I go up here... Oh, never mind, I haven't got enough jetpack. You want to be getting up high, because you can zoom in quite a lot. So you want to be getting up high when someone's being focused. I have no idea what Rogue Val's doing. So yeah, that is the basics on how to use him effectively. Oh yeah, I haven't talked about the orbital concealment. So the orbital concealment, if you're being focused, you kind of want to use it straight away, just to give everyone a little bit more time, so people can get the damage in. So use the orbital concealment as soon as it's ready, pretty much, just to give everyone a little bit more time. So just use everything as soon as it's off cooldown. Just use it. That is literally all it is with Battle Cabot. If it's off cooldown for too long, you're doing it wrong. Just literally spam everything all the time, and then that's literally it. Spam everything and hope you don't miss. So that's Battle Cabot. I hope this was helpful. Sorry, it's kind of a bit of a vague tutorial, but yeah. So Photon Cannon, 2 clips into Solar Blast, into the Photon Cannon, If the orbital concealment is off cooldown, use that, and use the shield burst as much as possible. Make sure everything is always on cooldown. So I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.